He's had a few anxious moments in this tournament too, has Reyes.
I heard murmurs of this man, the great Mike Massey was the first one to mention Buster Money to me when he'd been in a tournament in Vegas, and this guy hit this rack at 43 miles an hour. And he's about 9 stone wet through.
Well, a mistake, the first one from Francisco. And at 3-1 ahead, he'll work that one out, but watch that cue ball. He hit it good, Sid, but the pace of this table just drawing that cue ball into the center pocket. And he was watching it right off the start. Look at his eyes, right on it.
Right, just the lad to run 4 or 5 now, Efren. Crowd absolutely hushed and tense watching this battle of the maestros.
Well, Reyes' patience in his seat, waiting for his opportunity. Finally it comes. Bustamante put 3 racks together with Reyes' miss. Now it's down to Efren to respond. There's no hard work here. It almost looks like he could leave the cue ball in the center of the table. The orange 5 is next. Side cushion to come back down for the 6.
Mason looks hold on the cue. Starts to stun across for the orange.
Now he's got a choice, Sid. He can either play this left side cushion, right side cushion with a lot of bottom, or run around the table with a lot of inside English on the cue ball. And he's played it the way I thought first. Now he's got to clear the 9. Has he hit it hard enough? Again. I'm sure his heart was in his mouth for a brief instant.
Comes from a pretty rough background in terms of economic considerations. Place called Mexico. Pampanga was brought up in, played money, pulled from the age of 9. Still plays to take home the bacon, or Philippine equivalent to his family.
Efren had a real character building match en route to this semifinal. Akikumo Toshikawa in the quarters, 11-9 he progressed there, and he really wasn't on song. He's hoping he saved his best when he needed it most. And that's in this one, Sid. Against Bustamante, he will need to be in top gear. He's got to have his A game. He's 3-2 down and breaking in the 6th rack.
And there, very, very strong Euro player, representing Europe in the Mosconi Cup 6 months ago, Francisco Bustamante's rival earlier. Fabio Petroni, he's been playing in Brighton, practicing for this tournament. Very emotional character, but box office as much as Tom Jones at the Stedford.
Michaela Taft just ensuring to get the rack exactly right. It's so important. All the balls are touching. The break-off in 9-ball, an integral part to a success ratio from the player that's hitting them.
Yeah, the big thing is not the power. You have to have enough power to make the ball scatter and maybe get the 9 going, but you also must control the white. Ideal place right in the middle.
Both players certainly seem to be breaking an awful lot better today, Sid. Now, I don't know whether Efren can get through to the 1. If he can see enough of it, he may be able to play the combination, but another look at the splash on that diamond of balls. Neither one getting the 9 in gear, though. The 1-8 present a combination or a plant, but can he see enough of the 1 to get it?
The rules are you have to go for the low ball. Let's kiss the 1. Plays the intermediate shot. And opens up the whole table now. Looking good for 3-3, Efren.
Only a glaring mistake is going to stop that scoreline. Reyes, at 45 years of age, an icon in the Philippines.
And it must be said, of 96 players who came here, at least 35 players had him down as their paradigm of the game.
Well, he's such a gentleman. Rarely speaks unless spoken to.
Like, will you take a check?
Or cash. And there's a lot of people that Efren has faced off with in the game of 9-ball. I guarantee you said that their pockets thought their hands were crazy. They were digging out their cash so fast.
Well, the game is much more organized. The authorities playing a great role in its worldwide spread, but they're still on that edge. Won't use the word hustler because the Americans don't like it. To them it means something to do with cheating. To us, Geordies, just means wide boy, sharp guy. Guy could limbo dance underneath a swing door. Exciting game. Now to be brought to balance. This one could go all the way. This race to 11 between two pool legends coming in with a bit of right-hand side.
And down goes the 9. And Reyes is putting pay to the bad break-off from Bustamante. The Philippine flags are waving, Sid, regardless of the outcome here.
Now, the match, a reflection of how strong this game is in Taiwan. Two Taiwan players where there are many professionals and many clubs, and the game is partially, I gather, government sponsored. Not sure the Philippines government sponsor it, but two heroes of the Pacific Rim here.
Both players know the importance of this one. They're playing for $15,000. The loser will go home with that much U.S. The winner assures himself of $30,000 and a shot at the $60,000 winner's ticket. And Efren, the magician Reyes, winds it up to break off in the 7th rack. Lost the cue ball there. He's been a bit lucky. Does he have a shot at the 1?
Well, it's ominous for Busty because Efren was having all sorts of trouble with his break last time out. All right, you're 3 in sync on the trot against Sukier, but with this break-in, it is enough to handle Bustamante, maybe even to beat him. Stuns the ball into the rail.
Got a lot of work to do here. Cue ball needs to be on the left-hand side for the red 3 next. You can see the 3 passes only to this pocket. And Reyes, with so much angle on the 2, he may have to play side cushion to try and get back. Or what he could do is try and play the 3 into the center pocket here. That may be his only option. A deep screw with a lot of left-hand side. And position the key here.
Screw it is.
A little short of pace. He needed to be a little further down because the orange 5 is the wrong end of the table for him. The only thing I can see, if he decides to attack, he's got 2 choices. He's either got to bank this and run through with the cue ball, or a deep screw using the 9 with a lot of left-hand side off 2 cushions back for the 5. There you go. That was a much better pot than he made it look.
Well, the magician showing that there's nothing wrong with his wand here. Picking the right time to come good, just as he did the other day against Suke. He was sat in his seat, 7-3 down, cobwebs round his shoes, then suddenly Tinkerbell.
Well, early indications in this one tell me that Efren Reyes came ready for this match. He's made some great shots already. Left himself in very uncomfortable situations, and this one doesn't look to be any different. He's so cautious, he doesn't want to touch that brown. Look at the cue ball power there. Incredible. Loaded up with side and swung that white back for the 7. Tremendous shot from Reyes. They label him the magician, and you've just seen an example why. The 9 down, and Efren Reyes has just put together what I think is his best visit in this match thus far. A break and finish, but he had so much work to do. Watch this white bend with the cue power here. Look at it off that cushion.
And look where it leaves on the brown. 4-3 to Reyes the magician.
Yes, there's Efren Reyes. A lot of people feel that the winner of this match will be favored to hoist the hardware.
Hoist the hardware maybe, but nobody's going to hoist the white flag out there. These two Filipino legends locked into it. I'll echo, the one thing that made me tip up Bustamante was how non-productive Efren's break was. Here we go again. Nowhere near the athleticism
or the power. But still, Sid, he's 4-3 in front, and he hasn't really been hitting the break well. Yet another example again.
And he's usually leaving himself a shot on the 1.
It's always been his weakness. If he does have a chink in his armor, it's the break in 9-ball. If he's potting balls on the break.
But with his cue power and control, to get just 1 ball down from the break is enough. With Bustamante, I've seen him get 5 from the break.
Yes, but have a look at the bottom of the table, Sid. A lot of problems. The green 6, the brown 7. That's going to be cause for concern, certainly for Reyes here. If there is to be a roadblock in winning this rack, it's going to come in that form. And the 5 is the wrong end of the table to try and develop it, so he may be forced yet again to play a combination 6 onto the 7.
Into the cushion and screws to give himself a thin flick right. And he's got to get on the green 6 to play the shot that Jim suggested, and the 7.
That's exactly what he's looking at right now, just where he wants to leave the cue ball, right in this area. He comes down too far, then he's going to be playing against the 8. You can see him. He's got a nice angle on that 5 just to bring the cue ball back. This is a big shot here. Very close. That's right about where he wanted to be. Now, not just judging the combination shot here, Sid. He's got to judge where the 6 is going to go to leave it on. And that's just as hard. Big moment right now for Reyes. He's got the bit between his teeth, and he wants to keep it there.
Yeah, but both pockets blocked. Unless it passes the 9 yet to bring it out that far. Beautiful, because he's cleared a passage past the 9 ball.
I believe he has, Sid. Great shot from Efren here. Happy to see that one disappear, and happier again to see a shot on the 6. Well, that pocket haunted him, and with the 6 ball, if you remember in the second rack, it was the 6 he missed into that very pocket. And didn't it think about staying on the table again?
Good go, Dan. Well, looking, pot in. 5-3 to Bata. Number 1. Efren Reyes gets a 2-rack cushion.
Yes, again, that green 6. His heart definitely skipped a beat there. In the end, he got home and dry, and he's erased a 2-rack deficit and turned it into a 2-rack lead. 4 on the spin. Bata has put together here.
96 of them came here 9 days ago. Much favoured Johnny Archer, 4 times world champion. Earl Strickland, Mercurial Genius. Ralph Souquet and Oliver Altman, both former world champions. Now it's between 2 blokes from Taiwan who'll be playing later, and these 2 magicians from the Philippines.
Ice water running through the veins of both these players.
Rack 9, Reyes.
As cool as cucumbers out there. And they must be under so much pressure. The eyes of a country upon them.
But they could be taking some pretty fat envelopes to Manila.
He's on the 2, a long, difficult 2. And the problem here, position onto the 3. He's not controlling the white ball. Doesn't hit it with near the force Bustamante does, nor does he exercise the same control. And yet, he still finds himself at the table. That's because he doesn't miss.
Now that was a mixture of pride and envy in my co-commentator's voice. Jim, for my top snooker player, no mean hand at this. Reyes coming in with oodles of left and bottom.
Yeah, Sid, you left out admiration.
Goes without saying, kid.
Now he just wants to ensure to get up for the orange 5, the 6 available top left, and the combination 8-9. So he doesn't mind being pretty straight here, Sid. This looks perfect again. Just wants to be very close to where the 5 is, just a little below it, off that left-hand cushion.
And the awful thing is that we have seen some scrappy matches, to be blunt. Occasionally, people overcome by the occasional table or where the rack was, maybe. But I think there's 100 million people playing, and maybe another 10 million going to start after seeing this, but they make it look so easy that when you get the cue stick in your hand and have a go, you realize it ain't.
He makes it look like he can hand that cue over to a guy walking on the street.
Absolutely.
And the combination 8-9 for 6-3. And 5 in a row.
Francisco looks for all the world like a kid in detention for only getting 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. Just sitting there.
Down goes the 9, and Reyes is really starting to motor here. In our semifinal, he leads Francisco Bustamante 6 racks to 3.
Welcome back to Cardiff. Russo y Gerdet. To put it in the local dialect, there's two Filipinos take centre stage, and why not when they're two of the greatest in the world? I've been reading in the papers that some of the BBC commentators said the Open Golf was slightly not given good respect to some of the players and the conditions. Well, you'll never get that from this team. We would pay for the privilege of commentating on this class of pool. Semi-final here between the magician Reyes against Django Bustamante. Going Reyes' way at the moment. And how, Jim?
Finally, Reyes misses off the break, or did he? No, he got one off the break. And again, half a chance at the one. I didn't see one go down there, Sid, but obviously one's down. He changes with his break cue. Let's see which one he made. Oh, the brown 7 just feathering into the center.
Here he goes again.
He's off the mark.
And can't see him missing any of these, Jim.
These two played in Reno, Nevada in America a couple months ago, and Reyes came out on top there. First went to America in 1984. Was over there gambling under an assumed name. That's just what a legend he was. So well known he couldn't even use his own name.
In Geordieland, that's called a sting.
It's not far off over there, Sid.
And in the last year, he's won the £65,000 Ultimate Pool Challenge,
as well as the World 8-Ball Championship. Anything with 6 pockets, he's a threat.
And he goes to Australia, even the Kangaroos zip up.
Would you say he's got the pace of the table?
And the measure maybe of Busty. Mind, we all know what can happen if Bustamante gets on there. He could run 6 or 7. Might not get out the seat though. Remember, this guy was 7-3 down to Suke, and then he got out of the seats, and Rian Navaplu ran 8 to win.
A little short of where he wanted to be. Intended to just draw that cue ball back another 8 to 12 inches, I think, Sid. Make his job a little easier. This still shouldn't pose any problems for him. Just around
the side, around, and looking good for 7-3.
Yeah, not the conventional way to play position, but effective.
Come on. I would agree with Steve Davis' point earlier on that in snooker there are just some things you do not even think of doing. In this, the mind boggles at what's possible with a great player.
6 racks in a row. Efren, the magician Reyes, 7-3 now in front of Francisco Bustamante. And Sid, I believe the bookmakers were favoring Bustamante decidedly in this one. 7-4 on. Pretty tough to score when you don't get to the table.
But if he did get to the table, he could run 6 or 8. No bother.
And lest we forget, it was nothing more than a lax break-off from Francisco that parked him in his chair for 6 racks. The response from Reyes. Lost the cue ball into the center pocket, and since then, he's had no chance to reply. The cruelest of games. And he's suffering.
Rack 11, Reyes to break, leading 7 racks to 3.
Yeah, makes bullfighting seem like pat a cake, bakers, man. This is a very cruel game. You can be on form on your day, but if the other guy dominates the table...
That was his best break, and the first time he doesn't have a shot on the lowest numbered ball. He finally kept the cue ball in the middle. Didn't get a shot on a low ball. The 2 is the one he would like to have seen set up over a pocket.
And nobody's saying anything about where the rack is, how high it is now. And he's also getting the middle ball. Getting the one to go in the middle. There's several factors looking very ominous for Bustamante here. Not least the scoreline, 7-3 down.
Well, one thing about it, Francisco's been shut out for so long, someone may have to remind him what the rules are.
Now, I remember years ago the great Leighton Reese was probably watching this at Pontypridd. He was captain of a 3-man Welsh team, and I said, "What's the team talk?" He said, "Win, just win." That's about the psychology that Francie. You don't need no more psychology than the bludgeon here. If you get up, you've got to run 6 or 7. What an ask if he does indeed get out of the seat. Oh, what a shot! Absolute brilliance by the maestro, brings the crowd really. Oh, what a shot! He wasn't on for the first time, and he put that in like a tracer bullet.
The only problem is he's got an equally difficult shot here against the 3, a very fine cut. And look at him spin that in around the back of the 4. This is phenomenal stuff.
Well, Merlin the Wizard used to cast a few spells down on the banks of the Taff. This is a wizard at work, weaving magic with that wand of wood.
The form that Efren Reyes is showing us right now is unbelievable, Sid. This is the stuff that legends are made of right here.
World semi-final against a guy who most people rate the best player in the world, Francisco Bustamante. And this man is doing just what he did to Suke, stringing them together like a blind fisherman mending a net. Experienced dominant here. Sometimes he wields the rapier, sometimes the skein do. Sometimes it's as fine as the smallest darning needle. Precision, immaculate control. Meanwhile, Busty sits and contemplates. Forgets the rules.
Well, this is the first time I've had the pleasure of seeing someone use that cue like a magic wand. But this is something to behold, the way he's playing right now. He is in the zone. 8-3, 7 racks in a row. And even when it looks like he's got to pull something out, he's equal to it.
Meanwhile, there is Taiwan on the practice table for his semi-final, which is against Pang Chow, alias the cold-faced murderer. Takes some living up to a villain like that, but that's what he wrote on his form. Chang here, I would say, is not the favourite. It'll be tight, but from what I've seen of Chow, Jim, former world champion.
Absolutely. But we've seen Chang show some great form, too. What a match that's going to be in prospect.
Well, I started to learn a bit about this game 4.5 years ago when I was preparing for the Moscone Cup, and it's like the whisper. It must have been the whisper across Europe and the early history of the Huns. The word Attila rang out, and the word that rang out then was Strickland. Then they started to talk about Efren Reyes. People said, hey, you've seen nobody till you've seen Reyes. Well, here we are in Cardiff, and what a time to show the likes of me and Jim and the rest of the world why he's talked of in hushed tones in this game.
The long one, and he's going to be bridging right over the 4 ball. He's 5 racks clear, so certainly he's got to be feeling comfortable. He's got to be in that zone right now, where a lot of the initial pressure and nerves are gone. He almost stalks the ball, Sid.
And the interesting fact in the makeup of pool players is they, I wouldn't say they were grudging in praise, but they do not dish it out lightly. And I don't think any sport I've ever covered, from darts to domino toppling, have I ever heard of anybody talked of in the venerable terms of this man. He is an all-round legend.
Well, he's just given us an example that he does, in fact, have a pulse, and he is human. The first slight mistake in position, he's got to come up with a great shot here to get from the 3 to the 4.
You were saying, Jim?
Never doubted it for a minute. Now it almost looks like he can pot this and screw between the 9 and the 6. Off the side cushion, back out for the orange 5. And certainly if Francisco even gets a chance, and the way Reyes is playing, I don't know if anyone thinks we're going to see Bustamante play another shot in this. But he's been sat down for so long, how could he possibly feel like he still had a touch for the table, his concentration level? It almost looks like he's playing every shot with Reyes to try and maintain that high focus that these players need. And I suppose in one sense, he has to do that, Sid. He's got to maintain that and hope and pray almost for that one mistake to let him back in.
Doesn't look like coming though, because he ran a very similar game. He did 8 racks from 7-3 down to beat Suke. This then for 9-3 to put him 2 away from the final. Bustamante scratched off a break. And now the maestro is 9-3 up. Can Busta answer? Will he get a chance?
And welcome back here to live and exclusive action from the 1999 World Pool Championships. Coming up after this match, Ho Ping Chang versus Fong Pang Chao. All Taiwanese clash in the second semi-final. And then the final itself. Coming back now to the first semi-final, Efren Reyes versus Francisco Bustamante. What a match we are seeing here. Change in the commentary box, myself, John Gale, and Jay Helford here. Jay, what about this match?
John, I've been watching professional pool for over 30 years. I've seen the greatest players that ever lived, and I've never seen an exhibition like we're seeing right now. I am just thrilled that Sky Sports is putting this out right now, because you out there that are watching this match, you are seeing the master of all time play his best game. This is beautiful.
Francisco Bustamante led this match 3 racks to 1. He scratched off of the break. Little was he to know that he is still not had another chance to get back to the table, and he is trailing 9 racks to 3. Efren Reyes, the magician, only needs 2 more racks to book his place in the final.
You know, John, you and I were sitting out there in the stands watching the first part of this match, and I've just never seen anything like it. This is why he is probably the greatest 9-ball player, the greatest pool player that ever lived.
Doesn't play on all of the world tournament scene now, though, Efren Reyes. He still has that respect. We've said that throughout this week. 96 players came here for this tournament, and the majority of them put Efren Reyes as their favorite player.
Well, at the beginning of this match, I was saying to you, John, that what this is about for Efren is to assert once again his supremacy as the #1 player in the Philippines. There's a lot more at stake here than money. But at this point, he's asserting his supremacy as the best player on the planet.
It is very much like a A master with his pupil, though. Francisco Bustamante is well regarded as the current best 9-ball player in the world, but there's nothing he can do against this. This is just a lesson from his previous master, is it not?
This is the best 9-ball I've ever seen on TV. And I was there racking the balls when Earl Strickland ran the 11 racks. He didn't play this good. He made 4 9-balls on the break. These have all been runouts from the break. Several of the racks have been extremely difficult racks.
That's a very good point there, Jay. We have seen a lot of good runs in this tournament. A lot of the time when the balls are breaking easily. Now, the balls aren't breaking easily here, but Efren is making some very, very difficult runouts look supremely easy.
He ran out of rack there earlier where he had to bank that 2-ball off the end rail. There was no shot. How he found that shot, I have no idea.
This is just heavenly pool. This to go within 1 rack of a final place. Down goes the 9. Efren Reyes continues this almost certainly best ever run of 9-ball ever televised. Continues.
Without doubt. Without doubt. This is a keeper, this tape, for all time. You'll never see better 9-ball play than what you're seeing right now.
3-1 he trailed. Francisco Bustamante, well regarded as the current best 9-ball player in the world, scratched and has not got back to the table in the last 9 racks. Just 1 more rack to finish what would be surely the best run out of all time.
I've never seen an exhibition like this. This is just amazing.
Efren Reyes to break, leading 10 racks to 3.
Jay, if he can make this, how important would this be?
If he runs 10 racks and out, I mean, I don't know what to say about this one, John. I'm speechless. This is the best pool I've ever seen by far. And I've seen Earl at his best. Well, he's got to come with a combination now, right from the beginning.
That's
1-7.
Right. This could be the shot. I think he can see enough of the 1 to play the combination. But this is not easy.
Believe me, at this point, Efren's not looking for any safeties. He's just shooting. If he makes this combination, it's all over.
Well, the crowd appreciating that run was just a phenomenal run from Efren Reyes. Bustamante smiles as he comes to the table.
You think he can run 8 racks right back at him? That would be something.
Jay, if that was to happen, what sort of a match would we be watching? He's definitely got a great chance of running this rack.
He's been sitting in that chair for 45 minutes. I'm surprised he can get up to the table at all. Well, these players saved their best for the last, John.
Incredible games so far. Francisco Bustamante comes to the table. The last time he was at the table, he was winning 3 racks to 1. He had the break. He was feeling pretty confident, in a good mood. Yeah, I'm in control here. Lost the white ball off of the break. And the next time he comes, he finds himself 7 racks down.
You know, Efren's been struggling all week. He did have that one match where he ran 7 racks, but he's been kind of spotty in his play. He's saved his best for last. This is vintage Reyes right now.
That's right, Joe. We had heard throughout. Efren had struggled all through the group stages, his early knockout games. He was just doing enough to get through, but he hadn't really had that fluency that Francisco Bustamante had been showing in the tournament. But every single player I spoke to said, just don't be surprised. Just do not be surprised if he just switches and turns on and runs a match. Well, we've seen it twice from Efren Reyes. You never know, though, it might not have even been enough in this match. Bustamante is clearly capable of coming out and going, anything you can do, I can do better, and just running out on him.
Well, this is a pretty deep hole to pull yourself out of here. Being down 10-3.
Is there anybody in the world, though, who would have more of a chance than Francisco Bustamante of running this?
Probably the only one right here. But I don't like his chances, John. He knows he can't miss, he can't make a mistake, he's got to make balls on the break. He's going to have to play perfect pool.
But he does have the biggest break, doesn't he? The biggest break in 9-ball pool.
Unquestionably.
This break that we're watching here.
Come up a little tough here on the 1-ball, John.
The power, but you could see there he got a little deep into the cue ball, and that means that he hasn't been able to stop the cue ball into the center-ish of the table. He's come back and really has left him no shot on the 1.
He wants to shoot the 1-ball all the way down in the lower right corner. Like, can I show you on this one here? All the way down here into this corner. That's where he wants to shoot the 1. He doesn't really want to play safe here.
Well, there just is no safety against these two guys.
He did play it safe.
That looks safe, but don't be surprised if Efren just kicks out of this and pots it and clears out and runs again.
Frankly, I'm surprised he didn't shoot at the ball, because I don't think you really want to let Efren come back to the table anywhere. Efren will kick 3 rails and hit this ball. But the brilliance of Efren will go here, there, and here, and hit this ball. But Efren not only plays to hit the ball here, John, he plays to knock the 1-ball away and leave the cue ball hidden somewhere behind other balls. That's how clever he is and how skilled he is. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. And as you can see, he didn't leave Francisco a shot.
Well, I think Francisco might be forced into, or tempted by the bank here, into the top left-hand bag. I think he needs to take this opportunity.
He's either banking or he's cutting it in the upper right corner. He may cut it straight down the table here, right along the rail. Just like that. Missed it rather badly, actually.
Well, Jay, I think that was possibly a harder shot than the bank there. The bank would clearly pass. Chance here for Efren. I mean, there's no easy shot, but he could bank the ball back into the side bag. So what he's looking at, to come right, bring the white around the table? No, it doesn't look like he is. He might be banking it into the top left-hand corner. Well, a safety.
Another safety. Another safety.
Yes. He doesn't need to take chances, of course. Efren, the rating 10 racks to 4.
Yeah, Efren doesn't want to take any chances here. And Efren's got all these weapons in his arsenal. Not only can he run out from anywhere, but he plays the best safeties of anybody, and he kicks the balls better than anyone.
Well, it's a good escape by Francisco, but you have to think that the chances of him coming back to the table with Efren in this form are slim.
Nice opening here for Efren. He's got to gently roll the 1-ball in the corner pocket and let the cue ball just drift back up towards the middle of the table.
Yeah, he was just looking there where he wants to leave the white for the 2, and it seemed to be by his stroke there. He'd like to use the cue ball pretty much where it is now.
I'm surprised if he draws this ball. I think he just needs to roll it in with center ball. We'll know as soon as he gets down on the shot, John.
Often see Efren just do a little cue action in the air, which is mimicking what he wants to play next.
You're right, he's drawing the ball back. Which means he can hit it a little bit firmer. Oh, it's a kill shot. They call that a kill shot. He uses low English, makes the cue ball die. It's a little more secure way of pocketing the ball. Nobody does it any better than Efren.
worked perfectly nicely on the 2 into the side. Chances of Francisco getting back to the table, Jay?
Not good. Only difficult ball Efren's got is the 6, tied up against the 7.
However, if he can get nice and straight on the 5 and just stun the cue ball, leave it where the 5 is, he's got a perfect shot on the 6 into the centre bag. So the 5 really helping his positional play onto the 6.
You called it exactly right, John.
Just these 5 balls for a place in the final of the 1999 World Pool Championships. He hasn't shown his best form throughout the whole tournament, only when he needed to. That's the sign of a true champion.
I feel sorry for whoever he plays in the finals, I'll tell you. They're in for a long afternoon. Or night, as the case may be.
Well, he'll be up against either Ho Ping Chang or Fong Pang Chao, that all-Taiwanese clash in the second semi-final coming up right after this match. Both of those players very accomplished, but I think you'd probably have to say that Efren would be going into that final as favourite. Just these 2 balls to win the semi-final of the Philippines. Come on, baby. An absolutely incredible match is now over. Efren Reyes in scintillating form beats his fellow Filipino Francisco Bustamante 11 racks to 4. There was a run throughout, standing ovation in the crowd. Look at that. They are amazed by the pool that they have just seen.
What a remarkable display.
Francisco just could do nothing in that game, could he?
There was nothing anybody could do right there. What you saw just now was the man they call the magician performing at his highest level.
45 years of age, Efren Reyes. He's not past his best. Well, it's Efren Reyes. Everybody wants a piece of Efren now. Efren Reyes, he goes forward to the final. 7 o'clock, live and exclusive, coming up tonight.
Welcome back to Cardiff. Up next, it's the second semi-final as Ho Ping Chang of Taiwan takes on his fellow countryman Fong Pang Chao of Taiwan. That one coming up in a moment. But we've already been given a masterclass display of pool, and just at the right moment as well in the semi-finals. We knew it was going to be good, but I think no one expected Efren Reyes to play that kind of pool. It really was quite superb, and both gentlemen join me in the studio, and perhaps, I don't know, I can start with Francisco Bustamante. I think, well, what can you say? You were 3-1 up, everything was going well, and then one break.
Yeah, when I was up 3-1, and then I got the 5th break, and then I scratched the cue ball, and then Efren ran out, and they make 9 times in a row, and I can get in the table. So I just watching him, you know, to run out, and he played real good.
Is that the best you've seen Efren play?
Yeah. He will play like that, like he played me, he gonna win this tournament for 100%.
Efren Reyes, congratulations, a fantastic display. Perhaps you can tell us how you saw it, because it was, well, we were talking here and we said that you could have been 4-0 up at one point, but then you went 3-1 down.
Well, I thought when I got in the first game, and then I get too much pressure, you know, at the beginning.
A lot of pressure out there, yeah?
Yeah, and then my opponent, you know, Bustamante, he got a good break.
Yep.
And, you know, after that, I thought that's the end to me, you know, because my beat me a lot of game, you know, because he got a break.
Right now, too.
He make a ball like 2 or 3 balls in a break. So when he scratch, then they give me confidence to make play good because you know, every time I break, I make a ball and they give me easy shot. That's why make me play good.
And the break is coming, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The break was coming. But
Yeah.
I'll bring Steve in here at this point. He says he had some easy shots. You were watching some pretty sophisticated shots, weren't you?
Well, we saw, I think, some marvellous positional shots by Efren there. As Efren said, the first couple of frames, the first couple of racks,
Yeah.
he missed a couple of balls, but
Yeah.
but then once Francisco missed the break off,
Yeah,
I just missed the break.
that was all it was. And then
all
all of
it
a sudden, we have so many great shots. This was a great safety shot early on.
Yeah,
that
right.
Efren played. We picked out a lot of great shots from Efren. Unfortunately, Francisco, there wasn't too many we could find from you, but it just wasn't your day. This was such a great safety shot to come back down
Yeah, and
there.
then after I shoot, I make pressure, you know.
Yeah, but it's still, what a class.
Well, everybody make a mistake because in the beginning the game, you know.
That's right. We wondered if the potting was going to be the ultimate. This was a great positional shot. The only way to get on the 5, use the 9 and cannon around with spin off of 2 cushions to come out for the 6, I think it was at the time.
It's a great shot. Yeah.
Great
Then
shot there.
the 2 ball he banked it is a great shot.
The 2 ball was a great shot,
Yeah.
But there were so many, and he kept the pressure on, and you just sat in your chair forever and ever. For 45 minutes, you sat in your chair.
Yeah.
Great positional shot.
Superb positional play. Not one positional mistake, and you kept the pressure on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic performance. They've been eulogising about how quality that was, how much quality that was, and perhaps the pool fans in Britain don't realise what a treat they just got.
What you've seen, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well, let's take a look at one more example, and we've got that from rack 11, and Efren again.
yes, the double.
Sheer class.
Yeah, this
Chance
is
off the
nice
5 as well, but he could have played a safety then, but he decided to go for the jugular, and didn't even let Francisco get back to the table to play a safety shot.
Yeah.
Marvellous play, marvellous.
Well, I think really, I think for both of you and Francisco, I think both of you feel this way about the tournament, that you know, you've put a great advert for the game of pool, not only in a world scene, but for the Philippines as well. Both of you in the semi-finals. It's a shame that both of you got to go out because you've put on great displays throughout.
Thank you very much, and I have a great time here in England. I was here 3 times already, so I like it, you know. And can I say?
All right. Well, congratulations again, and hard luck. That's all I can say at this point.
Jonathan, can I say something about
Sure.
it? Yes, I would like to thank very much for inviting to me this event, Barry Haim and Sharon Tockley, Luke Reyes, and the sponsor of this event, Sky Sports. And I'd like to thank my sponsor in Germany, Bear Custom Kill, and Simone's Cloth, and my sponsor in Philippines, 2 brothers Puyat. Maraming po salamat sa lahat ng tulong ninyo sa amin.
Fair enough. I won't try to translate, but Efren, congratulations and best of luck. Hope you can make it all the way and take all the cash home.
I'm going to try.
I'm sure you will.